Hello, everybody. So, today I have a great idea. We are going to talk about an interesting topic. It's an interview. It is what it is like to be married and then have a divorce and then get out into the world and start dating. That's what we're going to discuss today. And I'm going to discuss it with a man who has just escaped the Matrix and is out. So, how could you? I guess first question: how does it feel to be in your situation now?
Well, I'd say it's both scary, but it's exciting. So it's a little bit like trying to reinvent yourself to an extent, but at the same time going back in time to your pre-marriage version of yourself as well. So ultimately, it's a lot of different emotions, but the real motivation here is uh, to regain your freedom, to find your identity, which is you become a different person. Ultimately, you're no longer that person that's interconnected with your ex-wife and the various other things that you get consumed by being in that you know structure of marriage and everything else that comes with that. So for me, it's been a struggle, but I really believe that I am far more healthier. I've got a sense of vitality and energy by taking on that journey that a lot of guys don't.
What after divorce? The
After the
journey.
divorce,
Yeah.
yeah.
Most guys don't. Well, most guys probably don't, do they?
Well, what I find is like a lot of guys do. They're so attached, they become a little bit hopeless after a marriage, and they don't find a way to rebuild. I believe it's that difficulty to get over that hurdle. But I think it's with time and reflection, you tend to become more and more confident in standing on your own two feet. And I think like for me, it's like a new life. It's like a new chance. You can look at it as a glass half empty sort of way, or you can look at it, well, this is actually a blessing. It's an opportunity, and as for us guys, we can go forever. We really can. There's a lot of miles. For most guys in your 40s, even 50s, you can get fit. You can work on yourself psychologically. You can build yourself up. You can. When it comes to relationships and what you want to do with how you want to engage with the women in your post-marriage, that's totally in your control. You can become extremely successful with women and build on the experience from marriage. Don't look at it as some kind of a thing that controls you, that I can't, I can't go on, all I know is being part of a marriage. You can separate yourself from that. You can become a very strong individual and learn how to not really be seeking validation from anyone. And really, that's the ultimate freedom for guys, I think, and that's really what I'm striving for here.
So you think guys that get married, they lose their freedom?
I believe so. I think
That's what I would say. Like, that's generally what I would say. But I don't know. I've never been married.
you can, I don't know. It's hard to say. On the one hand, it's very useful, of course, to have another person, but if it's the correct person. So if a woman in your life can either be the greatest
Mm,
thing, or it could easily be a very destructive influence on you.
mm,
So by all means, this is not to encourage anyone to split from a woman that's actually a very good woman. You should definitely stick with that. However, very often that's not really the case, and you come to a point where you have to make a really hard decision. Do you really want to be? Do you want to deteriorate with that person, or do you just want to cut it off and find a new path?
mm.
So for me, that was the choice that I made, because unfortunately, mine was more of a destructive sort of marriage rather than a constructive
You know,
one.
I've never seen online guys say, "I regret getting married." You know those guys. There's so many of them. There's
Oh, yeah.
millions of guys that get on YouTube. There's so many videos now of people
Mhm.
just vlogging now.
Yeah.
But I've never seen a guy say, "I regret getting married." One, and I regret having kids. I've never seen it, but I've also never seen guys actually come out and go, like, do the opposite either. It's almost like you only hear divorce sucks. My life got ruined. I lost this a lot, but there's never that specific video explaining. I wish I never did it. So there's no real. I haven't seen the information anyway, and I'm kind of in the industry.
Okay.
You know, like
Yeah.
I never. It's never popped up in my feed.
I don't. It's really depends on how you see it. I don't. It's not a regret because you've experienced something. Sure, it was bad. There were elements there that were very useful lessons. You know, for me, again, like I see it as a blessing because at least I understand better the kind of person that I'm still looking for instance, and also understand more about myself. It takes really two people in a marriage to make it work. I'm not going to say my wife is entirely at fault. There were some things that I could have done better. I do understand that. But I would never know that unless I went through the journey. It's all like life goes on. Who's to say that that's the end of your life? It's not.
So do you think if guys, because I've always had this belief that you can do massive volume and you can have a bunch of regulars and then you can vet them and you can wait, and it might take a while with a bunch of regulars, and you can find like girlfriend/wife material. And I think I found a few that were legit wife material.
Oh yeah.
But would that be like the dominant strategy? Because at the end of it, having a terrible marriage you might actually learn more from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like doing everything right might not be the right way to go. What do you think? Because I haven't been there.
Good question. Doing everything right, can still get you wrecked. Yeah, absolutely, and that's definitely what happened in my case. I am appreciative, of course, of the fact that I've got 2 kids, and you know, I've learned about the transactional type of marriage, which was my case. I've learned a little bit about my psychology and why I ended up with the wrong person. And, I've benefited greatly from just going on a journey that led to divorce. But at the same time, I've learned, I understand why it happened. And therefore, I'm now equipped with the knowledge to not repeat the same mistake in the future. And I believe that I've got the potential and the opportunity to start a new page, while still being appreciative of the things that I've acquired in this, even though destructive, but still, interesting journey with benefits as well, of course. And to your point about vetting and filtering, I totally subscribe to that idea.
So that would have been a better way to go, you think?
That would have been a better way to go. Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I've always thought, just logically, that would be the right way to go. And I know I've got the answer to that. But the thing is, I've always just thought, well, because the more you think about something, the more you realize that the world's not that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not that simple.
It's more complex. There's no one answer. There's no perfect way to do anything.
Yeah. Definitely testing the water, different flavors, and understanding really what it is that, you actually want, the kind of person that you want. And, not going with sort of just the feel, just that,
the feeling.
The feelings, yes.
Yeah.
The feelings can take you way off course, and
it's hard to be objective when you're young too.
Yes, you don't want to make that mistake when you are naive.
Yeah, it's like I'm in love, and you just latch on, you don't see all the red flags.
Yeah, and of course, the daily hustle will also distract you from noticing certain red flags, like really obvious ones. Once you get into it, like once you've got the mortgage and the career, you need time to yourself, and one kid pops out, next kid, you don't really have the choice to pull the plug. You gotta sit it out. One of the things that held me sort of bound to the marriage, even though I understood that it was going nowhere, was probably the children getting to a certain age where I knew it wasn't going to be so damaging for them, and they would be able to handle it much better in the teenage years rather than the younger age. So I timed it in that way also, to sort of minimize the damage for them. So I got the question now. What was I talking about?
Oh, well, I got a million questions. I would just keep asking. What if you never got married and didn't have kids?
Well, that's a good one. Look,
we don't know what you would have done, but let's just say
that's the thing. I mean, I've seen some really bad outcomes for people when it came to kids. Everything from infertility to some sort of biological things that can go wrong.
Oh, like deform or Down syndrome or something like that.
Yeah, things like that. And so I'm really, really happy that my kids are healthy and happy, and they seem to be, quite healthy. They look great, handsome and everything. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So I feel like I didn't quite mess up my decision in that regard. And look, I'm grateful to my wife, my ex-wife, and I really don't wish any ill or anything like that. Even though there were times when, some dark moments between us. Again, I think there's plenty of opportunities for guys. Like I said, we can go forever. There's no excuse, really. And for me, it just came to a point where I was losing my mental health and physical health. And then I just went, well, I'm not good. I'm not good for this marriage. I can't function in that kind of environment. Yeah, I'm like slowly degrading and probably going to die soon if I don't do something about it. And, I've just...
Is there stats on that? Like, is there stats on that? I thought the stats were the opposite. Men who got married lived longer. But if you're in a bad marriage, then you...
Well, what I mean by that is maybe not literally dying, but I think your identity, your sense of, like, you're just as walking, you're a living zombie, I would say. But it's deep. You're deeply disappointed and unhappy with yourself because you've turned into that. You're allowed it to happen.
So now you've got more freedom.
Yeah,
and you can see how much freedom you could have had.
More freedom. I think one of the things that society teaches you, and unfortunately, it's like made the marriage institution also like really toxic, is the lowering of the value of the male, where we are no longer really our own person. We are just there to serve someone else or something else. A bit of a slave situation, and just like it's not really compatible with what the male psychology is actually like. And that conflict, it's just like, it feels like you have surrendered yourself to someone else. And I think that's what I mean when I say, like, you die your sense of, like, your masculinity, your sense of freedom, just knowing that no one respects you. You're just an object now. Even in your own family.
Oh, I've seen that so many times. Almost every man that's like married.
The whole, like,
I see it all the time.
It's not fun, and it's done with a warm smile on your wife's face, or just the treatment in the work environment, the various news, the various propaganda. It slowly just destroys males, I think, mentally. Absolutely.
And it's designed that way. We don't want to get into politics, but paying taxes. Imagine that you're part of this. You get married. You lose your identity in the marriage, and then your country has to go to war, and then they send you off, and you're like, it's like you're just literally a sheep. You're a bot. You're a slave.
I feel like my son doesn't understand it yet.
I'll red pill the shit out of him.
But I think me doing this, it will show him a few things about how males should behave, and maybe not really accept, not completely red pill, like to the core, where you're going to get locked up and put into a jail, but at least have an understanding and maintain self-dignity and respect.
Well, there's different definitions, isn't there, of red pill? I think my definition, which is like pre-Rollo Tomassi and all of the red pill stuff, it's like the real red pill matrix. Because I had a client, this was a couple of years ago, he said, my father was always telling me about women. And I just thought he was crazy. Now I get it. He said, now I got it. He was right all along. And all of those things that he was saying that I thought was crazy, this is what he was telling me. He was just saying, it was right. Now I see it. But
absolutely.
The thing is, like, if you're telling someone who they kind of need to see a little bit themselves. It's hard, like it's really hard to experience things for yourself through someone else. That's another level that a lot of people don't, it's like someone's going through something, learn from their experience without making the mistakes yourself. It's really hard to do. um
Yeah, yeah. Both my son and my daughter, in fact, I wish for them both to see a bit of a contrast, because for my son, I don't want him to end up thinking that he needs to become a doormat for a woman, and for my daughter also to understand that she doesn't actually need a weak little soy boy man in her life, and also she needs to understand that there are differences between, well, first of all, there's a difference between a woman and a man, and also the different roles when it comes to inside the marriage, and the importance of the two sides understanding those differences and respecting the fact that those differences exist, and just try and be very accommodating in making a marriage work. And if it doesn't work, then it just doesn't work, and it's the wrong person, and it's okay to walk away and find a new one.
Yeah, that's a complicated one. What advice would you give to a young girl? I would have no idea.
That's a complicated one. Probably not for this channel.
I have no idea what you would say to a girl. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to go with that one. That's a complicated one.
I think just a guy will do guy things and shouldn't be shamed or put down for it. And ultimately, you want a guy that has confidence and who's healthy and capable. It's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy, both people, happy life. You know what I mean? That whole idea, that whole principle, whoever came up with that, saying, again, it's just one of those propaganda things.
Is there a way to make a marriage work where you don't feel like you're a slave to the marriage, or is it just designed that way? Because you gotta work, you gotta pay taxes, you gotta do the right thing, you've gotta hold the family together, you gotta stress about everything. Isn't that just like part of the territory? Unless you're just mega rich and you just throw money at the problem and
So yeah, sorry, can you just rephrase that question?
Because unless you're just so mega rich, you have to do the 9 to 5, come home, and then it's like all of that manual labor, bringing up kids and paying for the mortgage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the whole system's designed that way. There's no way out of that unless you're born with so much money you can just throw at the problem.
Yeah.
But you have to be born with that or accumulate it early by accident, gambling or lotto or something.
In my case, it was definitely from 0 to... So both of us didn't really come from like a wealthy family. It was a grind. I mean, she was working pretty hard as well. We were both working hard. Look, it was a grind. And but again, I just found it I'm not sure how to answer that question, to be honest. I'm trying to think. One of the things that I don't know, the society like teaches girls, like women nowadays, like really really strong sense of entitlement, and
Mm.
men are not really we don't seek some sort of validation or like a gold star for doing like the manual labor around the house and doing all these things, doing all these tasks. But for whatever reason, I don't know how, women are trained to be very unappreciative, I would say,
Mm.
or communicating things to like that, like not being appreciative. And so, like, for some reason, like my wife, I don't want to get too much into that detail.
They just expect it, and there's not much
It's-
thanks for your hard work and sacrifice.
Yeah, look, there's no, don't even need the thanks. Just need neutral. It's like, just don't even say anything. But for some reason, it's like
It's never enough.
They go down the path of poking you to say like, oh, that was not that's rubbish, for example, or some kind of a thing.
Is that what they say? Nagging? It's like they
like
just
a
want
nag.
more.
It's a nag. It's a nag. It's a psychological nag, and I don't know what inspires it.
Isn't it genetic?
Maybe it's genetic, but the whole idea, like, the dad is dumb, the dad is just like like little things which over time
I think that's across the board, unless they're actively in the culture, trained at a young age to respect men.
I think yes, yeah,
it's almost across the board. You just see it everywhere.
That's right, because we're designed to kind of kill ourselves a little bit. Like when men get down to it, we're like willing to sacrifice a lot of our energy, time. We will happily hand over a lot of our money to our kids and our wives and everything, because we know we can make enough to sustain ourselves. We always will create more for our families.
And that's the question. If you didn't get married, then a lot of men get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly right. So we do, but we just want to be left alone and not be nagged. And women know that. Women know that, and the disrespectful ones.
That's such a cliche.
Will play that card. For some reason, they will play it all the way to the end, where you just go, I can't live with you like that, and you can't change. Therefore, we're going to divorce.
Yeah.
And
I saw that. Shame. Yeah, I've seen that personally in my whole family. Because I got 2 aunties. My mom's got 2 sisters.
Oh yeah.
And they all had daughters. And they've all just got big mouths, and they're all dumb as fuck and useless. Every one of them. They're just useless, and they just nag their boyfriends and husbands, and almost all of them have ruined all of their marriages. And it's like, I just look at that and I'm like, that's not what I want to get into.
Yeah.
That's a big factor of just looking for more of a conservative type of a girl. That's when I started going down, well, I need a Chinese girl. I need something like different.
Yeah.
But like, you get me an Aussie girl and I can argue all day. They'll get tired. I'm used to living with women. I'll just keep arguing until they're like, they need a man cave.
Yeah.
I'll just keep, that's a skill that, like,
that is such a good skill.
That is, but that's like, what is it? It's like it's something that you have to be born into it, because most men just can't handle that, you know?
Yeah.
But then you realize you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to argue with this woman all the time. She should be just, that's why I've even thought of, I've dated an autistic girl before, like on the spectrum. Just peace.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's like a little key. I found a girl that was like on the spectrum of autism, super intelligent, super peaceful, no nagging, very logical, no drama.
You cracked it.
Yeah, that's like a little hack. This is half an hour into the video. No one's gonna watch this far. so they won't get to see, they won't get to hear that. That's actually, yeah. Find an autistic girl that's
There
not
you
gonna
go,
nag.
man. That's it. That's
If you want a Western
mic
girl,
drop.
hang out in the mental asylum. I don't know, where do you find hang out in the psychologist, the counseling.
You have just solved the biggest mystery of all for mankind. You have saved mankind, Dave. No, that's good. I mean, like, it's very important to find a girl that's just like basic respect, and society trains the opposite. That's what I find.
In a way, would Western society be so great if our women were chill? Because that pressure puts men in constant state of trauma and stress, so they're always on edge and sacrificing themselves, and they're constantly nagging and they're constantly pushing. And like World War II, Australian women were walking around with these white flowers going, "You're a bitch for not fighting in the war," harassing men that didn't want to fight for Australia on the other side of the world for a war that had nothing to do with us. This is what they do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that and you're like, would the West dominate the world if our women were chill? But if they're too bad, they're like African women. They just destroy the society. There's like a sweet spot. And if they're too chill, like Asian girls, then you're too peaceful and you just create massive factories, but you don't turn it into a war machine and dominate. So it's like, I don't know. Anyway, that's a different topic. That's me going into geopolitics again, because it's all connected.
I'm sure it is connected. Yeah.
So after this, now, do you think now you're seeing some freedom? Can you see yourself getting into trouble though? Now it's like you got, how many options do you have now?
Yeah. The thing with freedom is you got to know what to do with it. So you're no longer relying on the structure to give you all the ways in which you need to maneuver. So with freedom comes responsibility, and you got to learn. Certainly, you got to learn and get in trouble now and again. You've got to learn the reality of what the social attitudes are towards you now being more mature age, like single male.
Oh, like dating younger girls, like age dating gap.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you mean. Yeah,
the age gap, of course.
Yeah, that's the problem with like coming out of a divorce. It's like you're not 20 anymore.
No, that's right.
But you want to date 20-year-olds.
And teleporting yourself back to when you were in your 20s, it's useful, but you need to reconcile that with the current times and the changed attitudes. And I suppose learning different ways in which to conduct yourself, such as the technique that Dave teaches. Those are extremely helpful and useful ways in which you can use these ways, and you can apply the knowledge that you've gathered over in your life as well. And
you mean what we're doing now?
Yeah, so what we're doing now. And obviously, you're much wiser. You may not have the physical attributes and not look your best self, but you can certainly work on your looks in the gym.
I don't know about that.
Plenty of ways to make yourself look good. For guys, it's not really as critically important, because women don't really look at physical appearance. It becomes more of a personality, character, and communication. So you can certainly work on yourself, and you can really develop all of those capabilities. But again, just maintain awareness of social attitudes and
Mm.
what are the trends. I truly believe like guys are built to be very, very versatile creatures
Mm.
for a long time.
Yeah, you can keep reinventing yourself. So do
Yeah.
you think you're going to get married again?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
What if we get you an 18-year-old that's like awesome?
Yeah, look, maybe I might consider. I'm not going to say. I'm not going to rule it out. Certainly,
Mm.
I just don't see the marriage as being the same way that I used to look at it. I think it's very important to find somebody that you don't really want to rely on and place very many expectations on. What's really important is that you are happy with yourself. You yourself give yourself validation and learn how to do that really well. And find somebody that can do the same thing. So you really want to be with someone. It's not a dependency, especially not emotional dependency.
Yeah, did you when you got married, was it like in your mind, I'm going to be lonely if I don't get married, or scarcity, like I need to hold on to this one?
Something like that, yes.
So it's like I'm getting old, I'm like 28,
Yeah.
getting old. I better lock one down, get married.
Yeah.
I need someone that's going to be around when I get old. Is it?
It was like that. It was like that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but like you, I had a lot of. I grew up with many women, and the females in my family, for some reason, and I took their advice. They thought that, the girl that ended up being my wife, for some reason, they believed that she's really, really good for me, which was like terrible advice. And
yeah, fish don't know how to fish.
It was more, yeah. And I sort of like grew up in a very feminine environment, so I had this weird idea implanted into me that you have to have that dependency. This woman will be your umbrella. You really, really need a woman to hold your hand. So I had this idea, and then later on I realized, no, I don't need a woman to hold me. I don't need anyone to hold me.
Because you're going to be holding her.
I gotta hold her.
You're the one carrying it. This is why female dating coaches are retarded. It's like,
yeah, exactly. But most of all, you yourself as a man, you holding yourself, and you can do that.
Yeah.
Nobody can do it better than you. That's really the key lesson.
Like when you're in your 20s, I bet a lot of 20-year-olds, if there's anyone, like any 20-year-olds out there, 20, 30, they're probably thinking, when I'm in my late 40s, I won't be able to get any girls. I might be lonely. Society's going to shun me. Yeah.
And there's definitely going to be elements of that, and it can mess you around. But you just need to remember that there's a lot more to female attraction than meets the eye.
Well, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of guys in their 40s that are done.
Yeah, but that's because they do it to themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Society didn't do them in. They just believed certain narratives and lies.
And that's why they're lonely. Yeah. So that it's not that all men are going to be fine in their 40s, but it's just not true.
Everyone has a potential to be very, very well off if they work on it. Absolutely. And that's what I'm sort of in the process of here, and making some quite good progress.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think when I was younger, I would think that as well. I need to lock down a girl, but then I started noticing I can just do volume and meet more girls, and I lose one, I'll find another one. Then you realize if you can lock down some of these, even basic skills. It's not like rocket science. It's not like complicated stuff.
Mm.
You can always have like options. Yeah, even if you're older.
You definitely do, but also take it seriously in developing certain ways in which to approach girls. Create a system, which may be a little bit tedious and time consuming at first, but once you become proficient, yes, you can do the thing that you were saying and increase your volume by doing really basic, routine, systematic approaches.
Well, it is actually. I guess it's simple because I've been doing it for a while, but it's a bit complex for you at the moment, right?
It is complex.
It's a little bit complex. Yeah.
I'm not as proficient.
Yeah.
But practice makes it.
Yeah.
Will make it proficient. For sure.
But it's still heading in the right direction. But apart from the pickup stuff, did you think at your age, if you were alone, you would be like lonely?
No.
You didn't?
Like when I was younger.
Like when I was younger, I thought if I got to this age and I didn't have like a wife, I'm going to be lonely. I'm not lonely at all. I don't feel lonely. I got so much shit to do.
That's a lie, I believe. Yeah, that's a lie that I believed when I was young.
It's like
yeah, absolutely.
It's like I think I don't know where we get this idea from. I don't think it's in the media. I've never seen it in the media.
Once again, it's more of a female idea, which is implanted into us. Yes.
So that's something that we need to teach our sons.
Absolutely.
When you get to 40, you're not going to be lonely. Don't worry. Because when you're 40, you'll still be able to pick up that 20-year-old that you're talking to now. Don't look at,
Yeah, certainly. You have to really work on yourself. You have to have the inner game, and you have to learn how to control your psychology. And that will really solidify you mentally. So being alone doesn't mean you're going to be lonely. Being alone for a man is a very useful way to reflect and learn about yourself and to absorb a lot of information and incorporate various ways of thinking. Being alone is very valuable, for sure. And I've realized it actually midway through my marriage when I was doing 1,000 different things and feeling like I had no idea where I was. It's sort of like losing your identity that way. So you need that time just alone to yourself.
Do you feel like all of the effort that went into the marriage was actually building something? Like you got something tangible to hold on to now? Or if you weren't working on the marriage, you would have something more tangible that you can hold on to? It could be cash, it could be something that you could have sunk your teeth into or spent more time doing that would be, even if it's just building a website or getting another qualification or just building cash, I don't know.
I was working on a lot of things before my marriage, which I sacrificed in order to direct my attention to making the marriage work.
Does the marriage take up all of that time? Like you could have a PhD instead you got a marriage?
Yeah, it does. In my case, it did, yes. Only because I guess it's the nature of marriage is very emotional. Like the whole process is very emotional. It's a very needy sort of situation for the woman, especially if she wants children and she has all these grand ideas. She will consume your mind, your everything. And then if you don't hold your ground, it will amplify more and more all the time. You'll give her like a little bit, she'll take double. And if you let that happen, next time it'll be triple. It's one of those things, and I'm not gonna say that again, nothing negative. It's just normal human behavior that needs to be a man needs to understand it, to draw boundaries. If you can have a good, balanced, strict sort of attitude from the beginning, I think you could get away with it. You could get a pretty good marriage that's what do you call it? Like it's a sustainable, and both parties can work together. But they don't really teach you that. You kind of like, you get married once in your life, and you have no idea, you have no experience going into it, and I think the system has no interest in teaching people how to be married. They just expect them to be together. That's it.
I don't think in high school or primary school anyone ever talked about marriage at all.
No, about the difference between a man and a woman, it became like some kind of censored, topic. Like you can't even like address. It's not even. It's inconceivable to think that man, woman, different. Both need to understand the differences and work together. It's turned into just man bad, woman good. Man needs to do like woman says. If man has thoughts or ideas, he's misogynistic and toxic.
Yeah, I had when I left high school, I was doing I was plumbing, construction plumbing, and every guy on the construction site was miserable with his either hated his wife, had a divorce already, or was a really hard-working guy that was basically a simp, like a slave at home. And I just saw all of they were all in the same situation. One guy was like, my wife's spending all the money in the poker machine, so what I did was I got a fake poker machine and I put it in the wall in the apartment, and I said, use that instead of wasting my money.
That's genius.
And I had this other guy that was like building and going home from work and then building the house, and his wife was pregnant and he was always stressed about that. And then there was another guy that was just drunk all the time at work and was like angry all the time. And I didn't see any like guys just, yeah, my wife's awesome and hot and life is great.
Yeah,
I just learned from other people around me. No one's happy with this situation.
But that's not the only. Construction sector is not the only one where you have miserable husbands.
Well, I guess it's just like the environment that I could see.
It's a lot more broader, for sure. I think it's everywhere, and like no one really talks about it. Guys are miserable. Guys don't even talk about it, really. But yeah, it's an issue. And
I think if I was like in Sydney, just like doing a 9 to 5, I think I would be miserable doing a 9 to 5, giving all my money to some family.
At the end of the day, guys are shamed for looking after themselves and actually thinking that they're not really there to exist. They're just there to serve. It's that whole thing. But I mean, everyone's a human being, and what's the use of a guy that's like dead in the head? He's just like given up. Like it's not good for anyone that he has responsibility for either. It's just the flow-on effect. You destroy the male. That has an impact on everybody in the family.
Well, if every man lived kind of like me, society would collapse.
I mean, that's the other extreme. I think there's definitely a balance somewhere between the dead husband who no longer feels anything and the guy who's got like endless fun. And
that's why kind of red pill content, I think, is heavily censored, and because I think you do need a certain amount of slaves in society. to bring the kids up, pay the taxes, do the shitty jobs, and without them, I couldn't live this life.
I
If
think
they all lived like me, it would be Africa.
yeah.
It would just collapse.
So that's why, again, I hate extremes. As there's a spectrum there, right? And people can choose for themselves where they want to sit in that. But either way, if you push someone to one extreme or the other extreme, society collapses.
It's almost like how much taxes you pay. So like if you get married for a while, you've kind of done your part. You get married for a while, you pay your taxes, you have some kids, and then you get the divorce, and then you run.
Yeah.
Then you've paid your dues to society to keep it running, and then you can go and
that's how I feel.
Go travel.
I feel like I have paid my dues.
It's a mosquito.
Yeah.
In here. Yeah. That's
Yeah, that whole debt to society
and then you paid the dues, and now you can go game.
Exactly, yeah. You still have like, again, guys, we can go forever. That's the advantage we have.
That's why pickup it's one of those things, like it can't go mainstream. Because you have everyone, like if you have every dude just on the street approaching, no one's working, the lights won't work. People always say that the like day gamers are usually broke. Because they usually are, because they're on the street picking up girls all the time.
Yeah.
But if everyone became a day gamer, society would crumble. You kind of need those guys to. So this is the nuance. This is the complicated part. You can't just say every guy, don't get married, don't do it, don't become a slave, because then we wouldn't have the ability to do this now.
Yeah.
So in a way, you kind of need both.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely, yeah. Look, we do need both. And once again, like...
Or we need them to do it.
Yeah. And everyone has an opportunity to get their turn to swing the other way, the other extreme. It's all within... It's just your own decision, really. And some guys don't need it. And they're perfectly happy to remain in the environment that they're in. Yeah,
some guys that actually they don't want to go bang a lot of girls, or they just don't have it in them. They don't want to, or there's something there. They get a dopamine hit from working, or they're addicted to making money. They get the dopamine hit elsewhere, which makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I believe that most guys can delude themselves a bit, but deep down, you know, if they see a nice pair of like boobs walking past, and those hips swinging, like that instinct is going to, straight up. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is, but like it's ideally you want to be somewhere in the middle. Like maybe you can experience both. You do your dues, and then you get time to yourself to do some pickup. Somewhere in the middle of that spectrum, perhaps, is the sweet spot. Maybe, I don't know. Or you can take turns, like we were saying. Like maybe what I'm doing, I'm sort of finishing up a chapter and starting a new chapter. It's a bit of a jump from one to the other.
So what is the goal moving forward then? A lay count? Genghis Khan rampage?
I think going back to your this idea, look, the count is there. What's really important is you do the vetting as well as you go. It brings you maybe closer to that ideal person
Mm.
who you may not necessarily want to marry, but it's maybe your buddy that you will always be together with, for example.
Mm.
And you did it because you chose to, not because you like necessarily just rely on them for anything,
Yeah.
or you want something. So it's completely non-transactional. You just chose to be together because you both like each other, and that's all it is.
I think that's a big mind shift for guys, and for me too. It's like I don't really need anyone to look out for me. I don't really need too much.
Yeah.
So I don't need much at all. Meeting new girls now, does it make you feel younger?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The entire process.
That's why I'm so childish.
I find myself getting up, getting excited, actually doing this kind of like preparation work. It's a little bit like a job for me at the moment, only because it's new and I'm sort of trying to get my head around it. I'm learning all about the art of the dating app, ways in which technology has evolved and can be utilized in really perfecting this. It's an art form. It's almost like it's a science almost. It's a game.
Yeah, it's a game. Yeah,
like a video game.
Yeah.
And then once you sort of completed your stage 1, 2, 3 or whatever on the video set, then you go out in the real world and you meet the person.
Yeah.
You know?
And you and actually it's kind of good today how my job's to push you. My job's to go, okay, dinner is half an hour max, and then we're bouncing, and then you're getting the snacks, then you're bouncing, then you're pulling home. And that's my job. I have to do that. But like you stopping and then having like an hour date and just enjoying that. So even that's like it's enjoyable.
Yeah,
because ultimately you're here to just enjoy the time, but also like the techniques and the PUA stuff. You don't have to just be master PUA and just slay and body count it up. You know, you can just like try to enjoy, if you wanted to enjoy dates, but this is where it's complicated. It's like depends on the individual.
Yeah,
you know,
in a way it becomes very automated and robotic. So you kind of you
got to keep remember. I'm like in this.
Yeah.
I'm like gold medal PUA, lay count.
Yes.
I'm like taking notes, spreadsheet, bang this many, age gap.
If it's like an accounting
but
exercise.
But I have to be at my best. So I'm like in this competitive sort of, but you don't have to go down that route. But in a way you should for a little bit, just to get good at it, and then you can just enjoy it. You don't have to bang the hottest girl. You don't have to get the hot 18-year-old. You don't have to pull on the first date every time, but it's good to know that you can do it.
In a way, I'm learning a lot about the art of communication. So not only the technical side of how to use dating apps, for instance, and the mechanical things. A lot of it comes down to communication and compartmentalizing your communication with the girl.
Yeah.
You can reduce the amount of words you use, and you can reduce the amount of time you spend with them whilst still absorbing the information, maybe even more information, by asking the right questions. You can really learn a lot. Now for me, because I came out of a marriage myself, I'm not really used to like really quick, like what do you call those things, like express conversations with many girls. Like I'm sort of more, my brain is more wired for longer conversations, which I'm actually working on that.
And being nice and polite,
Yeah, the politeness
being too
thing.
nice and like, okay, this one's not going anywhere. I'm gonna have to cut this date early. All right,
Yeah.
It's been a nice date. It's been, it's been good, but I'm gonna have to go. I've got something else on. Try to line
I think
up.
the efficiency, like working out your efficiency, is actually really good. Cutting off a lot of useless content in a conversation with a girl or people in general. If you can get the information you need, and she gets you, and give them the information they need in half the time or even less, that is extremely useful skill to have, especially given people's short attention spans nowadays. Everyone's just bang, bang, bang.
And that's not just pick up too. That could be useful in many other ways as well. So communication. It's not really curt. It's like it's polite too, but it's just courteous, curt, efficient. People often appreciate that. Often, if you're too polite and nice, sometimes
it's annoying.
They're also trying to be nice as well, and then you're both trying to be nice, and you waste both.
Yeah.
But if you can somehow communicate better and make things more efficient, they will, in a way, appreciate that. But yeah, if you're on a date with a girl and you know that this is not going anywhere, and you're starting to see patterns.
Yes, knowing
next,
recognizing it, and then knowing how to terminate it, like ASAP. That's also a skill. A lot of guys are way too nice and polite, and they'll just sit there and allow it to drag on, and even the girl is going to be wasting her time, and probably wishing the guy did something to end it as well. So recognizing these flags and acting on them, it's all part of achieving a successful sort of outcome. Yeah.
So I guess getting good at that, getting more volume, getting more dates.
And really enjoying the process, not forgetting to enjoy it, and making mental notes. Okay, this may be a person that I want to reconnect with later on because she sparked my interest. Whereas these 10 over here are definitely out. There's no potential. This was just a one night stand. I mean, it's such a useful. You're doing them a favor as well. Guys shouldn't forget. Like, it's not like some selfish conquest thing here. A guy approaching a woman, that's a very gentleman thing to do, because women absolutely love that men will actually do that. They know that they will not be the ones initiating any kind of romantic.
Like Legs. Was Legs going back to meet another guy, do you think? Is she going to go back and see the other guy?
I'm not sure exactly
this is still
what her intentions are.
Because,
quite possible. She seems like a very...
For context, there was a girl, she was definitely on a date. Very few people listen this far into a podcast of mine, but
this is a very long podcast.
It's 1 hour and 4 minutes now. But she was on a date. She walked him back to his apartment, to his lobby, and then he goes upstairs and he doesn't try to pull her up, or we don't know what happened, and she's wearing a miniskirt. That's an approach. That's like, she's in the right time of the cycle, she's on a date with a guy, approach, get that number, get a date with her. Literally, was it the next day got the date, or the day after?
It happened.
But it's only early too, because there's a possibility you could have tried to get an instant date even though it wasn't nighttime. But anyway, that's a girl that went on a date. It didn't end in his place. You, in a way, did her a favor by like approaching. That's a cold read legs, the date.
Yeah.
She's walking through the mall. It's nighttime. Remember? Yeah. So that's kind of doing her a favor as well, because there's a possibility that date didn't end up too well, because that guy just pussied out at the end. He didn't pull, and she's got the miniskirt on. That's just my cold read of that situation.
That was my read too, that she's unhappy and disappointed after that guy left her. And then me chasing her down, she seemed to be quite pleased, actually. And later on, we had a chuckle when we met. I could tell that she was very appreciative of the cold approach, absolutely. I'm just saying it because I remember thinking it was like another idea implanted in my head that we're told by women as well, like we're very selfish, we're just pursuing sex and that's all we're doing. And for some reason we should be made to feel guilty, but really we're doing women a favor here as well. It's not like we're getting something out of it. And
that's another thing you can do, is you can remind women too that you're dating. Like I'll remind girls that are like, oh, she'll say, isn't it too soon? I'll tell them, well, it's my job to push this forward and try to get you into the bedroom. So it's your job to tell me where the end of this, where the barrier is, and it's my job to keep pushing to the barrier. Because you're not pulling me, I have to pull you. And then they're like, oh, okay, I get it now. That's a communication thing too, because communicating that helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's probably good. I got a video to upload. All right.
Thank you.
That's a good little talk, though.